Very Madam, morning for your kind words. Thank you for the opportunity provided to me. On the two sessions today, I am going to deliver. One is on penetration testing, the second one is on examination reforms. So personally, I would like to thank Jaya Engineering College to ask me to deliver the lecture. Fine. So participants, a very good morning to all of you. So today, as per the schedule, we are going to discuss on how the penetration testing happening, particularly when you are working with the web applications. Then as per AICTE norms, they have to work on examination reforms. Okay, actually they are saying that some pedagogy component, something like that, emerging pedagogy, as well as examination reform, such a thing, that session need to be delivered for the AICTE program. So that session we will go. So let me try to finish everything within this span of time, 1.5 hours, like you will see. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Actually, when we look into web applications, there are different kind of applications. Particularly in the web itself, we can have a different kind of applications, starting from small scale to the enterprise level applications. But how that application vary? But the standard structure of the application almost the same for enterprise applications as well as small scale applications. Normally, that architecture, everyone, you are all aware of that architecture, which will start from the client to middle tier, then it will go to the DB tier. And there are a different, servers are get connected with the middle tier. It is not only one DB. There are multiple DBs are get connected, and there is a seamless communication between middle tier to the DB, or I can say that server logic or business logic to the DB. So business logic to the DB, there are so much of a transaction happening, as well as from the presentation logic. It's a client tier to middle tier also, there are so much of transaction happening. But the DB tier data, if it is revealed to what is called to the client tier, then that will be, directly through some coding techniques. If the client tier able to fetch the data of DB tier, maybe through the middle tier without the the proper secure mechanism, then this will be exposed. Whatever the data what I have in the data logic or DB tier, completely will be exposed here. As well as some of the informations which need to be secured and which is maintaining the session between the two customers or two clients. So there is a there are so many people accessing the applications. It is like what is called, maybe I can say, in a single apartment, there are so many people are there. Maybe in the cloud also people will say like this, how cancer is there. Assume that there are n number of clients accessing an application. So each client establishing the connection, right? And the connection is established between the client and the server, and the communication is separate. There is no two communication, interlinked. There is a session maintained, and once the session entered, then there's a continuity between the client and the server, and always the communication between middle tier to the DB tier. There is no direct communication between client tier to DB tier. It is never happened. Okay, it is never happened. Only it is between the middle tier to DB tier. Now assume that the secure mechanism, whatever we have written in the business logic, if it is having some vulnerability, that vulnerability compromised by the client, and they are taking some, or they are compromising some of the vulnerabilities of this middle tier, and that way that will be exposed. So how we could see the compromise, how the client is compromising the vulnerability of the middle tier, and how the client is compromising the vulnerability of the DB tier, that we can do through penetration testing. That is what we are going to discuss in this session. Okay, fine. Actually, in general, when you wanted to secure the applications or secure your network, there are many ways you can secure your network. Basically, how we secure our network is, the threat may be at the network level, then the threat may be at the host level, then the threat may be at the application level. So whenever we talk about threats of the application, or threats of a system, or threats of a network, always there is a possibility to secure at a different level. Sometimes what happened, we have a very robust network, but what will happen, the person entered into the network, legitimate person entered into a network, and that person will hack something or try to intrude the network, intrude the host. So by the way, there are different mechanisms are there to prevent it. Then a person will log into the vulnerability, like assume that there is a port scanning. So a person is scan the port. Maybe you are all aware, if you go to the net and you can see, for example, if I go to internet and I could see the ports, the ports opened, okay, port scanning, and commands also there. There are commands also there. So suppose I wanted to what is called the port scanner, what are the ports are opened, then I can actually this application online port scanner, that online scanner nmap. Okay, so if I go with this, then what is happening, if I enter the IP address or the domain name of the particular institution, for example, if I go to Jaya Engineering College, Chennai. Okay, so this is the site. So what I do, I take this domain and put into this target. Then I am not authorized person, but however, for the sake of light scan only we are going to do. So like I did that scan target, then I could understand that what are all the ports are opened. Okay, for example, I can do with our own NATTT at Chennai site, and I can see that what are all the ports are opened. Maybe I will also put that thing. So assume that some of the ports are legitimate port where, for example, port number 80 defaultly open. For example, port number 21 SSH port, telnet port, what will happen? The person will target through the particular open port, and they will enter into a web server and they will upload some data. So in that condition, what we will do, we will go to our firewall and we will block the port, whichever the port is need to be secure, and whichever the common port, those ports we can open. Such a way we are securing the network. Suppose the network is not safe, and the person able to through a particular port and they can enter into the application. So there they can do a lot of things. So security always at a different level. One is at the network level, the second one is at the host level, and the third one is at the application level. Particularly when we go to application and the web application, particularly the web application, there is a taxonomy. What are all the different kind of threats are there? What is the nature of the threat, and how we can what are the different kind of attack mechanism in each threat? That the taxonomy is available in OWASP. Okay, it is Web Application Security Consortium. If you go to Web Application Security Consortium, then you can have. Okay, so you can go to what is called. Let me stop this. If you go to Google, okay, Web Application security consortium, if you go, okay, threat classification. Okay, if you go to threat classification, there WAC, where you can see about what all the different kind of threats are there, and these are all the threat. Okay, particularly when we talk about web application, you see the attacks and the weakness. You see these number of threats are there. It will start from abuse of functionality and brute force, buffer overflow, content spoofing, cross-site scripting. Suppose you wanted to know in detail about cross-site scripting, then you can click that. Then that attack, what is a cross-site scripting and the example, and what is a non-persistent and persistent, DOM-based, all the things you could see from here. So the Web Application Security Consortium will provide the complete detail about different attacks. Okay, some of the sample way how I have put the classification, that is what is called the kind of authorization kind of threat. Then we can have a threat like a client-side attack, and we can have a threat like a command execution. And I mean, the same I can just classify the list of threat. I just classified under the category of authorization, then client-side attack, then command execution, then information disclosure, logical attack, then authentication. So these the classification, each classification, there are a different kind of threats are available, attacks are available. For example, when we talk about command execution, you can have a SQL injection, XPath injection in the XML data. Maybe in the SQL data, that is a DB data where you can have a SQL injection. And in the XML data, you can have a XPath injection. Then SSI injection, server-side input where you can have SSI injection. Then LDAP, okay, lightweight, where you can have a directory-based, lightweight directory-based attack. So LDAP injection. Then format string attack, how they can go. And OS command. See, these are all the buffer overflow. These are all the command attack a client can, or actually attacker. I cannot say hack. Hacking is ethical hacking. Actually, hacking itself ethical. I cannot say actually ethical. Somebody will say ethical hacking. Ethical hacking. Actually, hacking itself ethical. Ethical. What is the meaning? Actually, suppose I am developing a web application. Then I wanted to know I have any issues are there or not. Okay, I would like to know what are the issues. If I wanted to find the issues, what are the vulnerabilities are there, then I have to find the vulnerability of my own application. So I try to hack because I'm a security engineer of or security personnel of my own organization. So I try to do so many, I use so many tools and I try to hack my own application. So by the time it is completely ethical. So hacking itself is ethical. So I can find out the vulnerability of my own application. Then I try to find the solution for that so that the attacker cannot compromise that vulnerability, or attacker cannot find the vulnerability of my own application. So that way, each attack is compromised based on some vulnerability only. So without vulnerability, the person cannot attack your application. Without vulnerability, the person cannot attack your application. So the way there are different attacks are there. Different attacks are there. So to that attack, for example, you wanted to, particularly when we go for client to server communication, one of the common ways how we can maintain the cookies and the session. For example, if I log into the browser. If I go to the browser, that's the browser. I have a browser. If I go to my settings, then maybe someone you can try after login to Google or some other banking site, something like that. Go to settings and security and privacy. There you go and clear the browsing data. Immediately you will be logged out from that application. So what is the meaning is your session data and your cookie data completely cleared. Okay. So such a way, there are a different way we are working on between the client to server. For example, you are all aware of client server, cookie and the session. Everyone aware of what is a cookie. Cookie where you can have a persistent cookie and a non-persistent cookie. And a session ID, how the communication between the server. Because whenever I am a client, I am trying to connect, I should have some identity card. So I wanted to enter into my office, I have some identity card. Okay, so with the identity card only I can enter into my office. So that is called like a session ID for web application. So always whenever the client is communicating with the client, there is a authentication is there. So that authentication is maintained between the sessions. Okay. So the same session ID that the communication happening between the client and server, then I could understand that there is a authenticated client only. Such a way it is happening. Such a way it is happening. So now how we can see the penetration testing with the open web application security project that we will see. I will give you the procedure to do that one. Actually, OWASP is the open web application project. You can go to OWASP site. Actually, already I told you, one site like a security consortium. Okay, the same way there is another site is called OWASP. Open Web Application Security Project. Open Web Application Security Project. You can also be a member of this. Okay, so security personnel wanted to do, we can go to OWASP and you can see that the different details, what are the things are happening in the OWASP. Okay, actually they have projects. So OWASP top 10 and the dependency track, all the things are here, all the details. Web security testing guide. Okay, if you go to web security testing guide, then you will have actually why it is here. Can I move this one? Share. I am unable to move this. Okay. So if I go to open web application security testing guide, where you can have a what is called that project detail. That project detail, everything is available here. So here you can go and the GitHub repository, project links, everything is available. Project classification. So if you take this guide, okay, if you take this guide and you can get a lot of details, particularly for testing and particularly for what is happening with the OWASP, all the things you can get it from the site. So here now what we are going to do, we are going to do the penetration testing through OWASP Open Web Application Project that is available in sourceforge.net projects.OWASP. Okay, so the tool is available there. Tool is nothing but it is a OWASP, what is called image file, OWASP image file. Okay, actually this you have to install in your machine. But if you directly put live booting, instead of putting the live booting, what you can do, you can have a what is called Oracle virtual box. I think everyone will aware of Oracle virtual box. Yes, participant, have you worked with the Oracle virtual box? Maybe let me check the chat. Participant, can you type in the chat? Whether have you worked with the Oracle virtual box? Can you put it to the chat? Yes, yes, very nice. Many people, I think they have worked with the Oracle virtual box. So in the Oracle virtual box, you can create a VM. Okay, you can create a VM. In that VM, you can install the OWASP. Okay, you can install the OWASP. Now, actually, I have installed. I have installed. Download this software. Almost the software is 1.7 GB. Okay, that image file is 1.7 GB. Then you can download the software and create the VM. Create the VM. Okay. That step I will give you here. You can create the VM, and once you created the VM, then you will be entered into this screen. Once create the VM and start the machine, then you will get the screen, and you can check your network, because this will enable with the Postgres server as well as the Samba server. Okay, Postgres server as well as the Samba server. So both server. For Samba server for web application testing and Postgres for database. Okay, so all are started. Once you start, right? Once you start, all are started. Then you can check. See, in my machine, I just opened now before the session. It's just open now. I think now you will be able to see here, right? So now it is saying that 192.168.56.101. I hope it is visible to you, right? So this is my VM. This is my VM. So I minimize my VM. Right? I minimize my VM. Actually, this I prepared recently for one institution. This PPT. I can use this PPT for your lecture. Okay. I use this VM. What is called CMD command. So what is my VM IP? VM IP is 192.168.56.101. So I wanted to ping off 192.168.56.101. Okay, so I will be able to connect my OWASP. Okay, I will be able to connect my OWASP. So once I will be able to connect my OWASP, then what I do, I can go to the browser. I can go to the browser. Okay, then I call the server. Then I call the server. So what is the IP for that? What is the IP for that? Yeah, 192.168.56.101. Okay, so that is my IP. So now you see, I will be able to access the OWASP in my browser. Okay, that Open Web Application Security Project, Open Web Application, I have it at mine. So it contains many very vulnerability web applications which are listed below. More information about the project can found in user guide. Okay, that is what they said. And for detail of vulnerability of your application, you can click this thing. Okay, so this VM has many serious issues. We strongly recommend that you are running only in the host only, that network adapter one we are having. Otherwise, someone will attack your things. But since we are working in the local, you should be very careful with the NATing of your machine with this VM. So now I have this one actually what is called Open Web Application Project. So in the Open Web Application Project, then I am going to open the project. Okay, I am going to open the project. For example, Open Web Application, what is called bricks or multi-guide or webboard. So which one you wanted to work? Which one you wanted to work? So training application. These are all training application. If you go to the board, then it is asking the username, password, and the connection is private. Then if I go to the bricks, then I will have welcome to the bricks, and here different application login page, file upload page, content page are there. So here these are all the application. How we are going to hack this application, that we can see, right? Then I can say vulnerable. Then here it is having the username, password, and we can see that how it can be compromised. Okay. Then multi-layered applications. So this is what the multi-layered application we are going to see. And here OWASP 2013, then 2010, 2007, all the things are there. We will go to OWASP 2013, where it will talk about A1 SQL injection, then other kind of injection, HTML injection, JavaScript injection, HTTP, then XML injection, export. All the injection applications are there. Then here broken authentication session management, how people bypassing the authentication. So there's a sample application, to the sample application, and you can try to bypass the authentication. You can try to bypass the authentication without the what is called the session. Then cross-site scripting. When we go to cross-site scripting, there is a reflected cross-site and a persistent DOM-based. So how really is it happening? So there are many applications are developed here, and you are going to use that applications for practice purpose, particularly to do the penetration testing. So you can test it, whether what kind of attack, whether you will be able to find the attack or not, that you can do. Okay. So now what I am going to do, I am going to use the cross-site scripting, which is reflected. Okay. So first one we will see OWASP 2013 and the cross-site scripting were reflected. So in the reflected, we can see that set background color. In the reflected, we can set the set background color. Assume that I am going to change the color. I am going to change the color. So example, they say that FF 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So set background color. Once I set the background color, you see that is a normal. This is a normal application. This is a normal application. So that application is maybe if you are trying to write the application, right? You can have a what is called one label, and there is a text field. and whatever the data I have entered here, I mean that color I can enter here, that color will be considered for background of this. So maybe another color I will say F0 A. Okay, so this is the color. Okay, then F something. Okay, so set the background color. Once I click the background color, then background color will be changed. So this is the application. So how the application can be compromised? How the application can be compromised? Now what I am doing, I am checking that my input. I'm going to do my input. Some JavaScript input I'm going to do. So input type is equal to test. Actually already I did the one. Then I have that all the tooltip. Input type equal to text. Name is equal to my color. Value is equal to FPA. And I am adding some script. So what exactly I have to enter here? I have to enter only the what is called the color, but here it is allowing me to enter the whole script. Okay, set background color. Immediately hello participant I am getting. Then click OK, hello participant. Then you see that the color background FPA, like I got that that color get changed. So what you can understand from here is this input field does not have a blacklist characters filtering. Okay, for example, if it is allowed, then what will happen? Any input, you just consider that I will go to Google, right? So in the Google, I entered script, then alert, session, so I entered, then what will happen? So how to access the PHP session variable like it is saying. Another important, immediately I am getting that the cross-site scripting tutorial, right? So what is the meaning is someone is entering as an input like this. There is a two possibility. A person may wanted to understand the concept. What is the meaning of this? That is the reason first link it is like how to access the PHP session. Second thing, immediately see what is the relationship between this script alert session script, which is a cross-site scripting. There is no relation, but what is the meaning is this is the cross-site scripting attack. This is the cross-site scripting attack. That is the reason you are getting like this. Okay, so this application, for example, in fact, I do not know. We have AC.in. I asked my team to check. Let me check my team. Your question. Okay, name, in the name, less than. See, I put less than bracket. You cannot enter the less than bracket. Okay, so I filtered the less than bracket. So here also I put less than bracket. Actually, I am typing the less than bracket in the for writing the script. So script I can write. Script I can do. Suppose I put the greater than bracket. Greater than bracket is not coming. So I am filtering. Here also I put less than bracket. You see less than bracket is not coming. So what I did is ampersand, because you see in the notepad I can type ampersand LT semicolon. So less than bracket. So that kind of string they should not execute. Okay, this is a reference key, no? So less than bracket like that. Then you can have some script. Then ampersand GT greater than bracket. So if I put this one in the HTML, then it will display the less than bracket, greater than bracket. So ampersand also we have not specified. Then semicolon also we have not specified. Okay, so such a way the filter mechanism is happening here. So once you able to filter the data, then the hacker, attacker, not they cannot attack the cross-site scripting. That is what you can see from the what is called this application. Participant got it. This one you got it. This one you got it. Yes. Then second order, we will see that 2013. then cross-site scripting, then what I can go to second order. In the second order, add your blog. Add your blog. I am going to add my blog. So this is the blog where I am going to add my entry. This is the blog I am going to add my entry. So first I am typing that hello. Okay, save my blog entry. So automatically the blog entry will be saved. You see here, hello Java Jaya Engineering College by mistake. Okay. Hello Jaya Engineering College, an anonymous blog. Okay, so initially there is anonymous blog. Then hello. Okay, again I enter save a blog entry. Now the blog entry again saved hello. So continuously the blog entry saved in this one. Continuously the blog entry saved in this one. Now I wanted to check whether a person can able to enter the script and get some details. So what I am doing, this is Shanmuganeethi, right? This is Shanmuganeethi. Then you can say that script. Alert. Okay, alert dot document dot key document dot key semicolon, then I go to script. Okay, so this is my see, whatever I enter that will be saved into blog. Okay, whatever I enter that will be saved into my blog. Now what I am doing, I just enter this blog entry, I click it. You see this since there is a possibility of allowing the special character, you see show hints is one, AC open divides this one, and some data, and it's a persistent nada. PHP session ID is equal to this session ID. So I'll be able to get some detail of the server, because whenever I enter something, it will that data will go to the server and I am getting the response, right? Right? See, all the what is called. So this is Shanmuganeethi only stored here. You see, but I have entered so many things. But all the details are not stored here. All the details are not stored here. So the reflected XSS, what is happening, which is taking the data, and the data when I enter the save block, it is going, because after entering when the data went to the server, then only it will be saved here, and again it will be saved into the database also. So what is happening? It is allowing these special characters, particularly for session, what is called getting the session ID, and this will be persistent second order, because whatever the data entered, that will be stored into the DB. So the document.cookie, that particular script is stored into DB, but this is suddenly only returned, that will be executed there. So that way, so we can understand that this application. So in the testing, what we can do, we can try to enter some vulnerable script and check whether that particular input is accessing. I think most of you, what is called, book the train ticket, right, in IRCTC. Am I right? All of you, I can say all of you book the ticket in IRCTC, right? So participant, will you able to unmute yourself? Maybe can I check? Will you able to unmute yourself? Yes, maybe I can check. So all are only with the what is called. Yes, I do not know whether you will be able to unmute, but unmute your camera. Is it possible unmute by camera, unmute yourself and you can talk? I do not know. Let me check. Yeah, Selvakumaran sir is unmuting himself. Yes. Oh, unmute is not possible. Okay, fine. So, for example, if you wanted to book a ticket in IRCTC, or you take any e-commerce website, you just try to see that one, the site input. Whenever they are getting an input, most of the time, they will allow you to select the input than the typing the input. In IRCTC also, where exactly you are typing is, your name, your login name. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Participant, 1 minute, I will back. 1 minute, I will back. Actually, what is happening is, whenever you have that online site or e-commerce site, when you are going to purchase a ticket or purchase any product, that you just listen the site will allow only to enter in a few input only. Particularly if you take IRCTC, you can enter at the name, then age, right? Only the two places you can enter. You cannot enter anything else. Maybe username, password you have to enter, right? Other than that, you cannot enter. Captcha code you have to enter somewhere else. Then never it allow you to enter. All the things are you see drop down or select date, then seeing the character and type the character. Okay, so they put all the kind of input you have to select only from the existing input. So why they are doing like this? Because always they wanted to allow minimum keying from the user. Second thing you see, even in IRCTC, you cannot enter, for example, B Shanmuganeethi, B dot Shanmuganeethi, I cannot enter. I can say only B Shanmuganeethi, B space Shanmuganeethi only I can do. Why? Because it won't allow you to enter the dot special character. So why they are doing? Because they defaultly they will block all the special characters. The reason behind this, no one should compromise the application. No one should compromise the application. Such a way we have to do the testing. But in this application, you see, in this application, okay, let me now minimize this. So in this application, you see, it is not filtering any kind of a characters. It will allow you to enter any character so that a person can prepare the persistent as well as non-persistent, both XSS attack they can do. Both XSS attack they can do. So the injection is particularly when you go for what is called XSS. Sorry, not XSS, not injection. The XSS is where you can have a reflected and persistent, reflected and persistent. So that way, both you can just check. You can check. What way you can verify. Maybe each and every one you will go and verify. Each and every one you can go and verify. Okay. Then next we will go to the command injection. Next we will go to the command injection. 2013. Injection A1, where you can have a UC command injection. Okay, so in the command injection, you can go to DNS lookup. Okay, you can go to DNS lookup where you enter the host name. Google.co.in. Okay, look up the DNS. Okay. So what is happening? Yes. Is it rotating? Okay, it's running. Okay, running. Okay, so once it is running, then it will give you the DNS address of whether it will be that a server is taking that DNS thing of the particular maybe injection. Again, I will type the command injection DNS. Let me check whether my server is on. Yeah, root OWASP BWA username password. Yes, I will be able to do. Now it is running. I go to my browser. I minimize this. Right now I can go to google.co.uk. Yeah, now it is running. Okay, I think it is taking some time to take the data. It's taking some time to take the data. Suppose if you enter any IP, then it will give you the DSS name. It will give you the DNS name. You see the connection time would no server could reach. Maybe I will put another server. NITTRC.ac.in. Okay. So look up DNS. Again, I think connection timed out because of my VM. But maybe you can try to run your VM. Okay, and you can check it. Okay, and you can check it whether you will able to get the DNS value of the particular. So DNS lookup, you can get it again. It is saying that command, okay, right? Config. Okay, 192.168.56. Okay, it is working only. Broadcast is multicast only. It is working fine. Okay, maybe it's due to connectivity between the VM and the public. Okay, connectivity between the VM and the public. I will not be able to get it. But what you can understand that from OASP and from the injection, you can go to any command injection. You can go to command injection where you can see the DNS lookup. Even I will go to the DNS lookup soap service. Lookup DNS. So you will get the. This is the service. This is a service. So input output like you can get it. Okay. So that you can get the DNS lookup and the complete detail. You can get it. What are all the files are available and how the files are linking. All the detail you can get it here. Actually, normally it will happen due to some. Okay, so like what you can do, you can try to do all kind of vulnerability. Maybe injection A1, A2, A3, A4, all injection vulnerability you can check it. Okay, and you can check whether that application is having the vulnerability or not, and how that vulnerability can be. So this way you can check it whether your mission is having the that application is having the vulnerability or not. Next, once you go to the home and not home, I can go to the bricks application where I can take the database data. Okay, database data, bricks application. I can go to the OWASP bricks. So once you go to the OWASP bricks, how I can get the data? For example, you see bricks where you can have a login pages, file upload page, content page. Okay, file upload page, content page. I'm going for content page. If I go to content page, you see there are a different way the content pages are there. Content 1, content 2, content 3, content 4. Then there are different content pages are there. Now what I will do, I will take the one content page that, for example, content 1. Okay, so when I talk about content 1, then admin at getmantra.com. Admin. So user ID is equal to 0. User ID is equal to 0. That one. So what is the query they are putting? That SQL query select start from users where ID user is equal to 0, limit equal to 1. That is a query they run there. Now what I am doing here, you see ID, you see what is the address bar? Address bar, you see this is the address bar. Okay, this address bar I can put here. So this is the address. So in this address, ID is equal to 0. Now I make it that ID is equal to 1 here. So, but you see, someone is entering, this is my data. Suppose I say ID is equal to 1, then automatically I will be able to get the data of another person. ID is equal to A. Okay, so there is no warning. MySQL fetch array. So export parameter 1, resource boolean, OASP, PHP, and unknown column A. So what is the meaning is in the column ID column, the A is not there, where class is not working. Okay, like I can get. So you will also get the table which command they have used. All the detail you can get, or any other what is called the detail. If you enter, then you will be able to. The user does not exist. So what you can understand that the user available with the 0, then user available with the 1, then user available with the number 2, then user available with the number 3, then user no user. So there are only 4 rows, 0 to 3 rows. So only 4 rows are there. So you see, by entering the data into the address bar and that ID value once I enter, then I will be able to understand that how many rows are there particularly in the table, and what is the key. That is, ID is the primary key. So based on the ID only, the people, the person can be fetched from the used to MySQL array. So those details you can easily get data. Then you wanted to compromise the query. So how to compromise the query? For example, I wanted to compromise like I think participant, are you aware of compromising the query? You can have a what is called value. ID is equal to like single quote, then space, single quote space, 1 single quote, then space 1 single quote. If I enter, then MySQL fetch expected parameter boolean giving the OS value, limit is equal to 1. Okay, so this way, maybe we will log in through what is called compromise the data. Log in through compromise the data. Or I can say what is called ID is equal to 3. Then I am adding A and continuing the query, and 1 is equal to 1. Then space plus. So I will be able to. So what is the meaning is, you see, I will be able to attach a query, but the query is also running. Then I will be able to attach the what is called the compromised input. Participant able to follow. I would like to know whether you will be able to follow. Participant, yes, is it clear to you what I am explaining to you? Because I am keep on running here. No. Participant, can you type into the chat box? Yes. Only Sudha madam is saying yes. All others I do not know. Participant, yes, are you there? Yes. Will able to understand? So actually, I think you are all aware of SQL injection. The SQL injection is to enter the input and compromising the credentials. So how I am going to compromise the credential is I am giving that value as what is called and 1 is equal to 1. I mean matching that value. Then default it will become true. That way I am compromising here. So yes, visible and able to understand. Okay. So you are all aware of tautology, right? You are all aware of tautology. Right? You are all aware of tautology. So tautology is nothing but saying that always true. This is always true. So since this is always true, and this is returning the value of 3, and it is returning the value of 3. So how I can work with the always true value? Okay, so that query it is accepting that. That query query is accepting there. Like any data you wanted to enter, right? You can enter the query and you can add the query some detail, and you can do that one. Union query you wanted to add. For example, you see ID is equal to what I can say, ID is equal to 2. Then I wanted to make it as union of some data. ID is equal to 2. Then I put the space, union of ID is equal to 2. Then union of the data. Here union of the value is union where condition I will put. Union where condition I will put. The participant able to follow this. Union where condition I will put that one. Union where condition I will put. Union space. Union select. I'm not getting the data. Union is okay. So here you see that one, I mean normal union query. I think if you go to normal union query, right? So if you go to W3 schools where you can get the normal union query, then select some data from the table, union, select another one. So that way, if you see here, what is where it is? That way, if you see here, right? So here I put ID is equal to 0. There select star from users where ID is equal to user. Then union select database 2, 3 some data, but ultimately the important thing is I put the hyphen that is true, that value. So ultimately what is happening, that query is running, but that query is not intended query for running the data, So I can get the data, then I can do like select the query with the table, some information table I can get it. Okay. Let me go to the PowerPoint. Actually, I am working with the PowerPoint only. Okay. So this is what I am just typing from the printout, right? So this is actually, this is the DNS lookup you will be able to get. This is the DNS lookup you will be able to get. So would you like to enter the google.ls-l? So ls-l will give the what are the list of files are available. So I am entering the IP as well as I will put ls-l where I will be able to get the files of. So totally in the Google you see 588 files are there. PHP file, text file, like all the files are there. Like you can get the files also on that. So this is the what is called the lookup data. Then we did the what is called this kind of a query. So this is what the user ID and I am going to do the tautology with the limit value. Okay, 1 is equal to 1 always true. Then second thing is you can just try this. This is what just now we have used. SQL query select start from where user ID is equal to something like that 6, 7, but there is no user. Union select database, it is giving the error because there is no user. Suppose I am entering the user, right? So here I am giving that true value. So here you see select 6767 union select database, it is not giving, but 67676 and the database and the 23 some true value and the hyphen, it is giving the value 2. Though the ID users is not available, I will be able to get the data with the second ID. Here you see the database. Here you will see that the data union query data is running. right? Here it is running the union query data, user number 2. So it is not taking the data from here. It is not taking the data from here. So here you see, I'm just giving that 676767. There is no user like that. So it is saying that there is no user of 6767. But the same I am doing here, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The union query alone running, it is not running this query. Okay, so you will be able to run the union query in the address bar, and that union query sent to the data logic, and you will be able to fetch the data. Okay, so now you see this is a third one. Okay, third data. So earlier we used to get the second data. Now we will be able to get the third data, but there is no data like a 67676. Okay. Right, so this is second data. Now I am entering the user ID as home, 6767 R5, something like that. Okay, now you see, I will be able to get the data. Username is equal to 2 because here I have a 2. But simply I am using this value without union, without this, without union. So user does not exist because 4545 user does not exist. I'm adding the union query. So union query is running. Now I will be able to get the data. Now I am entering 2. I am removing the 2. So the third data 453 union selected. So union select 2 data, then data 1, username with 1. So those data, one data that is coming. Okay, so this is the way you can do that one. Then you wanted to work with the user ID. Okay, user ID. Maybe another page. All the user ID I wanted to display. So who are all the users available? So normally you see, if I user ID is equal to users and username is equal to 2, email ID is equal to 1. That is what you are getting. Now user ID is equal to users, name, email ID, password, all the detail of the particular table. Okay, not only users. How to get those things? So by the time entering that union select group concat column name, then all the data. So if I enter that data, then I will be able to get the data. So this query, if you run, then you will get the complete column name of the entire table. Okay, get the column name of the entire table. And the same I have used to union select group concat email. Okay, so what are all the email IDs are available? That complete detail you will be able to get. So this is what is called simply I can verify with the penetration testing. Again, if you go with the what is called the login. Again, if you go with the login, right? You can try with the back. Brick login pages. So in the login pages, you take the login and you check whether what are all the users. I wanted to say admin, then username, whether that username is compromised user or not. So here you can have a compromised user. Here you can have a tautology user. So this tautology user is working or not. So that tautology user, if you wanted to put here, user ID is equal to some user ID, and you can also leave empty, and you can give the password as true. Okay, you can give the password as a true. Then with that password, you will be able to log in or not. That you can also try. Okay, that you can also try. Such a way, whether you will be able to compromise the username password, and you will be able to compromise the uploading page, content upload. So once you go to the content upload, you see what is called the content upload only we have seen now, So what are the content upload? Another thing what is called file upload pages. So when I wanted to upload the page, when I click that choose file, then I am uploading one file. This is the file upload, right? So upload successful. Click here to see the file. Suppose I wanted to upload a file which is completely a script file. Okay, I wanted to upload the file completely a script file. Whether the script file you wanted to run or not. Okay, whether the script file you wanted to run or not. So that thing you wanted to do. So each file upload page has its own security mechanism. Some pages allow you to upload some specific picture files. Your mission is to break them, upload shell script, execute them, and gain access. So you can upload the script file and check whether you will be able to upload the script, and it will be running to in the back, in the server, and bringing some data. So you can write the shell script and you can get the details. Such a way you can check the testing. So completely what you can do is, maybe I will give you the overall idea. What you can do is, you can install your open web application security, broken project, and that broken project is having the this project is having so many applications. This project is having so many applications. For example, here you can have a training application, realistic vulnerable applications, old vulnerable application. For example, if you have a WordPress, how the WordPress can be compromised. Okay, it's a 2.0 now. The updated versions are there, but in this application 2.0 is there. So there are different applications are there, right? So simple ASP.NET form, how that simple ASP.NET form can be compromised. Okay, if really they are not. So all these applications are there. Where these applications are loaded, that applications are loaded in the open web application security. What is called the consortium. Okay, the consortium is available. Then what you can do, you can take each and every one. You can take each and every one, and you can run the what is called the script. Run the script and run your vulnerable script into that, and you can check whether your application is vulnerable or not. So this is the way you can test your web application. This is the way you can test your web application. Participant, do you have any doubt? Any doubt you can ask me. Any doubt you can type into the chat box. I will explain. Have you worked with this project, web application project? Have you worked on that? Have you worked on that? Anybody trying now? Okay, you have not worked. Okay. Have you anybody trying now? Okay, trying. Okay, you try that one, and you just check whether you will be able to compromise or not. Whether you will be able to compromise or not. So you can check the vulnerability checklist. Vulnerability. Okay, so if you go to OWASP vulnerability checklist, so this document you can take. That is, this is what is called OWASP application penetration checklist. So these are all the things available in our application. Okay, this is the application. That application you can use it to do all this kind of penetration testing. You can take this document and you can check each and every how the flow, all the thing you can get it. Okay, objective and modes. This is available. I will put it to the chat box. You may take this one from this. Okay, you can click and you can take. Then second thing is open web application security, OWASP. Yeah, this also you can take threat classification. Actually, I just wanted to give a few intro on that. If you wanted to go in detail, then I have to go each and every what is called vulnerability or attack, and I have to give. But only thing is, for example, if I go to cross-site scripting, you have to understand that what exactly cross-site scripting. You are all aware. Okay, echoing the server information, echoing the server information. So how that echo is happening, that is what we have checked. Okay, that is what we have checked. But if you have a threat classification, then you can understand that what are the different kind of methods. If you have any doubt, I will explain. Otherwise, let me move to the other that examination reforms. That other one examination reforms. Or shall we have a small break now? Then we will continue. Yes, please. Shall we have a small break? Then we will continue. Yes.
Yes, sir. We will have a small break. Then we will continue, sir.
So maybe meanwhile, the participant, you maybe try this application. Try this application, and you can check whether you will be able to do it or not.
Participants will meet again by 10:45. We'll have a small break. We will meet again by 10:45.
Sir, if you wanted to continue, I will continue. Otherwise, we can have a break. It's up to you.
We will have breaks, a small break. We'll join again by 10:45.